What's up all you Cajun loving dudes and dudettes, Toybiz here, and I got a really rockin' video for you today. We are totally going to be checking out who exactly Gambit's best. No matter what iteration of Gambit, you know you're going to find that trench coat. He likes to wear that open-faced Batman mask, have his hair all billowing out, pole accessory, throwing playing cards. Gambit is exactly what we expect Gambit to be, and for the most part, every iteration, every company that's ever tackled him, they've pretty much given us the same exact thing over and over, except for Robot Fighters. Let's not talk about that one. Anyways, let's get into it. From Marvel Select to Toybiz to Hasbro, this is who Gambit's best. And while I got you Gambiteers here, I just want to say thanks so much for checking out my video. If you like it, hit the like button, leave a comment, let me know which is your favorite Gambit, and also be sure to subscribe because I got a heck of a lot more X-Men action on the way. Now we're going to start off with the classic Toybiz version of Gambit. We're going to go way back in the past. This Gambit right here, that was my first, and he's still in pretty good condition. This was when they initially launched Gambit in the wave of the X-Men figures, and then they did a X-Men Animated Classics reissue, so this is where I finally grabbed him. Same exact figure. Now old Remy LeBeau on this version, as you can see. He's got white painted pupils, has a very tiny head, but he's got his classic half Batman mask with the hair falling out, pink blue motif, the black pants. I always like Gambit's gauntlet boots. And then he had this very funny, like, plastic bag almost trench coat, which worked and didn't work. When Toybiz did figures back in the day, they liked to give figures that had jackets, lab coats, this plastic bag type material. It worked, but as you can see on the lizard, mine tore right there. Gambit so far has made it out pretty decently. It does have this giant hole, but that's so the little peg from his gimmick here will work. You kind of just push the peg down and he would kick out. It was fun for when you'd have the old Spider-Man, the animated series, the Toybiz ones, everything that led up. I mean, here's the original Deadpool. These were a good scale, very simplistic toys. Now, in addition to his bow staff, this Gambit actually came with 2 throwing knives, which he held rather well. He could only hold one per hand, as this was a open hand. It would have been nice to have playing cards. Articulation was at the arms on both sides. His leg kicked out on this side, and then, of course, because of his gimmick, his leg would kick out on that side with rotation at the head. But a great Gambit to have. And next up is the very first Marvel Legends Toybiz Gambit. This is actually, to this day, one of my favorite Gambit figures that I have. This Gambit has always had a very special place for me because I love his trench coat jacket. This is cloth goods, but man, it looked great on him. The head sculpt, I actually really liked that as well. He had that little smirk on him, like he just don't care. And that's what Gambit was. The jacket does hide the fact that he has a very tiny, emaciated waist. The jacket gives a little bit more bulk to him. So in that sense, it's not the greatest figure of Gambit, but for various reasons, and because, you know, I've had him for so long, it's a great Gambit figure. He had the very metallic purple, very cool blue up top as well, up into his waist. Classic boots that I love. On the side, Han Solo pants that he has. Articulation-wise, every which way for the shoulders. He even had a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. This really cool, he had the playing card hand where it would articulate at the actual fingers too. It didn't do a whole heck of a lot. He had a ab crunch waist swivel. Kicked out, he had ball joints to let you go every which way, double jointed knees, and then not ankle rocker. Actually, I think it's just age that has kind of dropped the peg on mine. His legs are a little bit loose, but the jacket is what made this figure really well made, very Mezco-ish for Toybiz back in the day, but a great Gambit figure. And as far as accessories was back in the day, he came with a Sentinel base, his trademark staff, and then a playing card effect as well. This was, and still is, one of my favorite Gambit figures. And then up next is the recent Marvel Select Gambit. And again, shout out and a thank you to Diamond Select for sending this over to give you guys a look, especially for a video that compares a lot of different companies with a lot of different Gambits. This one, I sincerely wish that with all these different Gambits, I could kind of pick and choose and build the ultimate Gambit. This has a lot of great things going for it, and then a couple, missed opportunities here and there. This Gambit has an excellent face sculpt to him. I like the hair. It's funny how the hair always goes in a certain direction all the time, but it's elegant. It's a nicely painted face. The eyes are great. I'm just not a fan of the goatee for whatever reason. I've never thought of Gambit as having goatee style, so it kind of throws me off a little bit. But the sculpt of the jacket, his upper torso, this is black instead of blue this time. He's missing that real, I guess, colorful blue element. These are more of like a silverish blue, kind of muted color. I dig it. I like that it's a little bit different. Just pointing out the different styles of Gambit, I think that it's important to note. He's got a really great sculpted jacket. This thing is fantastic, from all the wrinkles to the black wash they put on. It's a very cool duster. All the elements of his particular jacket that he wears is there. The articulation is kind of what lacks in the figure. His head moves around on a ball. He kind of has a ab crunch. It moves just a bit. It's basically more of like to swivel around left and right because there is nothing at the waist. He kicks out fairly well, about that much. He has a single jointed knee, and then his feet go kind of up and down. There's nothing ankle pivot wise. Articulation at the shoulders. He's got a bicep swivel, single jointed elbows, and then he has wrist rotation with a couple swap out hands. So this sense, you could use this hand for his card throwing effects, which I do. It's kind of like a palm out. This one is mainly, you could use it as the single card, or you could have him holding his trademark staff weapon. So with the accessories that you do get with him, you get his weapon. It does have the little ridges and rivets in it that he's known for having, and he does hold it quite well. He has a few different hands. These are for the exact same hand, so one would be for the pole and then one for the card. He doesn't really have matching hands. It's basically 4 different hands that he has, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but they all hold the various accessories well in some way. He comes with 2 playing card effects, more of like energy throwing, and these are some of the best Gambit effects that I have ever seen, actually. You got the playing cards, you got this electricity kind of energy pulse effect with the purple, and they have a slight difference to it in that this one actually has little fingertip areas where it will fit onto his palm, and this one is more as he can either hold it, something to that degree. But all you would simply do is put it right over where his fingertips go, kind of snuggle it in right between his thumb, and he holds them quite well in doing that charged playing card throw that we know and love Gambit for doing. And finally, that brings us to our most recent release of a Gambit action figure. This is the new Hasbro Marvel Legends Gambit, the sequel to the original Toybiz Gambit, and with as much love as the Toybiz one showed, Marvel Legends Hasbro Edition equally matches that, if not actually doing it one better, to be quite honest. Now, first and foremost, we are getting the same type of trench coat we have gotten a million times. Multiple Man was the last one, I believe, to wear this trench coat. It has a really nice head sculpt to him, and quite honestly, I don't really care for the added hair, like the mustache goatee. I'm not a big fan of it. I didn't like it on the Marvel Select one either. I like the hair, I like the eyes, the face sculpt is rocking. This is a great, updated, modern-looking Gambit with all of the articulation to match. The trench coat doesn't hide any type of emaciated look. He's got normal proportions for the most part. He's got the blue up top, and he's got little slash hack marks in the plastic, which I really like that they did. The molded fabric of the pants works really well. He's got all the Gambit attire that you could ask for. The really cool boots. I actually really like the paint that they used, this particular color, for him. And then, of course, he has the playing card hands. He's got one for there. He's got his pole staff hand. This is a really nice Gambit feature. I got to give it to him on that. Really nice articulation in the shoulders, single jointed elbows, rotation at the hands, the head is on a ball, ab crunch, waist swivel, kicks out, thigh, double jointed knee and ankle rocker with a boot cut rotation as well. It's a very, very good, updated, articulated Gambit. This is the type of articulation that I think everyone is looking for with a more modern flair to him. As far as accessories go, he has the pull, really nice, really segmented, a little bit different than, let's say, the Marvel Select one, and then, of course, the Toybiz one. So very different pulls. The kicker would have been if it could contract just to kind of put on his belt. He comes with an extra hand that has throwing playing cards to it. Now, I actually do like this hand a lot. I think it works. I think it works in the sense of it's more of a focus on the charged particle effect. Yes, it would have been nice to have more of the playing cards in this area, but I think in terms of more of a stylized comic book effect, this one is good. This one is great, but you can see how you can kind of use it for either or. Also, because he has the fingers out on that one, he comes with a single charged particle card. I really like that a lot. I think the Marvel Select one did it a little bit better, but again, in a more stylized comic book version, I like both, and I can use either or with each figure. Overall, it's a great looking Gambit. If I had the option to really swap out, I would totally take this old Marvel Legends head and put it on this body with this coat. That would be my ideal figure. And just for fun, I removed this original Gambit's jacket and popped it on to the brand new Marvel Legends one, and he looks quite fantastic in it. Now, I didn't remove the other jacket because that would require pulling off his arms, and I'm just not the best at doing that, and I don't want to break it. But as you can see, the jacket fits over perfectly with the other coat actually entailed, so it's going to be fine if you'd like to do it. So that's going to do it. I hope you guys enjoyed my little look at the Gambit collection, one from every major era. And like I said, Gambit is always just going to be Gambit unless they change him in the comics, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. Just give him a trench coat, give him some flying playing cards, energy effects, give him that trademark pole. That's pretty much Gambit, baby. And much like Rogue, we just love him. He's got that New Orleans accent. That 90s animated version of him, man, that was spot on. That's what I hear every time when I hear Gambit. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's... Who else is Gambit going to sound like? So, I'm going to leave you guys with that. Which of these is your favorite Gambit? Now, I know I left a few off, but are any of those your favorites? Which one is it? Which one Gambit's best? Comment below. Let me know. Let's talk some Gambit. I wonder how many times in this video I actually say the word Gambit. As always, drink some great coffee, eat some great food, but most importantly, if you ever actually do make it down to New Orleans, you're going to be in quite the treat for the food. The food is amazing down there. And when you do, let me know what you found. I'll talk to you guys soon. Adios.